Golf tournament in Lake Tahoe. No doubt they would love to play together on the course and on the court. Senior insider Shamp Charania joins us now. So, we're trying to read all these tea leaves, obviously. But as far as you know, what is the latest with LeBron?
And LeBron James, Rich Paul, they're continuing to sift through the leading contenders, the different options, the different teams that have been pitching Rich Paul over the last week since LeBron James informed the Lakers that he's going to be moving on elsewhere. That includes Golden State, Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia, Minnesota. What we do know, though, is LeBron James wants to be in a competitive, competing environment. He wants to play meaningful basketball, I'm told. But as far as the timeline, there is no timetable. LeBron James does not appear to be in a rush. The last couple weeks has been a lot of family, friends, and golf for LeBron James. Over the last couple weeks, he spent time in the Ohio area, in Akron. He spent time with his close friends and family. That includes Brandon Weems, his close friend, longtime childhood friend, who is now a leading executive with the Cleveland Cavaliers under president of basketball operations, Kobe Altman. And so the golf, the family and friends time, that's continuing this week. Another friend he's going to be spending some time with, my understanding, is Draymond Green. Draymond Green also is a free agent right now. Remember, he declined his $27.7 million player option to try to give the Warriors increased flexibility to go after LeBron James as a free agent, potentially bring in another co-star like an Anthony Davis as well. We'll see what happens with that pursuit, with those pursuits over the coming few days and weeks.
He's got a lot of friends. I'll give him that. So we'll see if any of that means anything when it comes to his latest decision. Shams, thank you so much. So we have LeBron at age 41, putting up significant numbers last season. One of just 4 players to average 25 and 5 on 50% shooting, joining Giannis, Nikola Jokic, and Albert Şengün. His agent, Rich Paul, and Max Kellerman, his co-host, had Bob Myers, who's president of the Sixers ownership group, on their Game Over podcast. And Myers made the pitch for Philly as the best place for LeBron to win.
If he was here, I'd say, I honestly believe this is your best chance to win. You have to decide all the other things that are equally important, because it's his life, right? He has to play, he has to face the scrutiny of his decision. That'll half people will say, you should have done this or should have done that. They'll criticize him for whatever, which is his life. So he's been through all that. What I would just say is, if it's about winning, and that, let's talk about this team, because you can win here in Philadelphia.
Brian Winters, Dave McMenamin, Chiney Ogwumike here on this day. It's so, Wendy, we have the president of an ownership group of a team on a podcast with LeBron's agent, who's effectively not saying anything. This whole scenario just seems so crazy.
So Bob Myers was obviously a teammate of ours at ESPN for a couple of years. I spent a lot of time with him. He's very smart. He knows that right now LeBron is not taking meetings with these teams that are pitching him. So this was Bob Myers' attempt to pitch directly to LeBron James. He was speaking, sure, the audience got to enjoy it and hear it. He wasn't even really speaking to Rich Paul. He was speaking to LeBron James. He was making his pitch to LeBron. In 2010, the meetings came in private and office building. In 2026, they come via podcast. Welcome to the modern era. And look, you don't think podcasts are important in LeBron's world? JJ Redick did a podcast with LeBron and ended up as head coach of the Lakers.
Exactly.
So podcasts can get things done. Bob Myers is very well aware of that. He was speaking to an audience of 1, and he got his message across. I don't think any of it was anything LeBron didn't know, but Bob taking the time out was his way of trying to get LeBron to pay attention to the 76ers.
Hey, why not? You're right, JJ, a few glasses of red wine, couple of podcasts, boom, he's your head coach. Dave, this is your team. You cover this. You spent all this time with LeBron. I want to say you're also a Philly guy.
That's right.
So
that's an understatement. Also, he's Philly through and through.
Okay, so maybe you're a Philly guy first, and you're the Lakers guy second. Okay, whatever that means. If you're sort of drawing lines here, like LeBron in Philly, I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that.
I can't tell you how many high school teammates, cousins, my brother, other family members have reached out to me in the last 2 weeks saying, is Philadelphia really a possibility? The Philadelphia sports fan would absolutely love LeBron James, especially if he finished the job. There's a 43-year championship drought for the Sixers. They'll be 44 by the time if they hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy in June of 2027. If LeBron was able to see through and make his career 4 different stops with 4 championship trophies, that further cements everything that he's done. On the other side of it, though, it becomes a kind of a desperate move, or a move that doesn't match up with his other 3 stops if he doesn't win. Versus he goes to Cleveland, we know there's less pressure to win a championship there. It's about going home. Goes to Golden State, those guys have already won 4 championships. That Bay Area fan base has been spoiled plenty. It would be more about the hang with his friends. Philly, he's got to win.
Okay. Such a professional. I want to give Dave a lot of credit because that was his professional pitch. All right.
I don't know.
He talked about the legacy, because that would be iconic, going to another franchise and potentially winning a championship in a place that's maybe not as organic as going to Cleveland or Miami or returning home. But I want to talk about the basketball fit, because if it's possible, can we throw back that that starting five, because I'm looking at where you insert LeBron James, because LeBron James, this is a team, the Philadelphia 76ers, and this is where it is right now. They were second to last in assists. So you see that backcourt, excellent off the dribble, excellent getting downhill, but they need someone that can pass the rock. No one better than LeBron James being able to fill a hole potentially with their positioning at the forward spot. And obviously the biggest if is Joel Embiid being able to beat on the floor.
Exactly.
When you have Jaylen Brown in the middle of that, what I love is that this is also a boost for them in the mid-range, because he's 13th in mid-range jumpers. And so you look at that starting five, if you can keep Embiid on the floor in a low-pressure situation, knowing that you also have two All-NBA guys that you've acquired in one offseason, this is not looking too bad for Philadelphia sports fans.
I just think Embiid is a big if. However, a guy who's played a little over 50% of his games in a Sixers uniform. But given all the possibilities that we heard, and really Shams named 5 teams, right? At first it was the big 3, and now we've seen the Sixers and Minnesota kind of creep into the teams that we're hearing. How do you like the fit in Philly, Wendy?
Well, I like LeBron's fit everywhere, because I've watched him play with hundreds of teammates everywhere he's gone, all across the basketball landscape, and he's pretty much been great in all the spots. He's played in the Olympics with Allen Iverson and in the Olympics with Steph Curry. He's played center and point guard in the same game with the Lakers a couple of months ago. He can fit with any team. I'm not worried about the fit. I think what you would say is LeBron going to Philadelphia would feel awkward at first. In fact, LeBron going anywhere other than Miami or Cleveland right now would feel awkward. But that doesn't mean that it couldn't happen. But I have very little worries about fit with LeBron. I don't think the teams who are pitching him should pitch him on fit. I think pitching him on the happiness, that is what he has set his criteria to. I will ask Dave, how many seasons in Philadelphia in the last 43 years have ended in what you would call happiness? Because that's a follow-up question I would have if I were LeBron. But
Good question.
His point about delivering Philly from the desert of no championships is accurate. That would make him an icon in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it'd be right like the Rocky statue, the LeBron statue.
83,
there.
obviously.
Yeah.
2001, I was a senior in high school. We made it all the way to the finals.
Okay.
Then I could say we, because I was full-fledged. I didn't come to the NBA yet. I was just a fan. Yeah, there's not many, Brian. And certainly a run to the conference finals would be further than Joel Embiid has been able to go with this group. And I'll also add, in terms of the happiness, Tyrese Maxey is another one of LeBron's favorite people in the NBA. He's been training with him throughout the summers and has really taken pride in his ascent in the sport.
Let's actually dive deeper into that, because anytime I watch LeBron James play, you know what I say? Teach me your ways. Let's go back to school, but actually to Rich Paul's big board, which right now is a whiteboard, and talk about the possibilities that he has illustrated, starting with the Philadelphia 76ers. You see that squad right up there? Let's dive into it, because Dave, you are exactly right. These guys kind of go way back. They're in the lab together. They're both represented by Rich in clutch, so there's a little synergy. But what I like about this pairing potentially is that LeBron James is excellent. He is a beast. He is a freight train in transition, and so is Tyrese Maxey, and so is VJ Edgecombe. So you can just imagine defenders being in a blur when it goes to transition basketball. Speaking of which, most fast break points in the NBA last season, number 1, Tyrese Maxey, number 2, potentially LeBron James, them teaming up together. Let's go back to the big board though, because let's talk about another team. This might be probably the most natural fit given his past. The Cleveland Cavaliers, okay? If you check them out right here, okay, with LeBron James, we all know he's all everything to Cleveland. He is that man with the statue, literally. Most made field goals, most made free throws, all-star selections, all NBA selections. This right here is just pretty much, in one word, poetic, because this is where it all got started. This is where dreams were made. And to be able to see LeBron James back in Cleveland, you look at the starting lineup, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, who's there for the long term, LeBron James, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, doesn't look so bad. So that probably is the most natural fit, right? And of course, we know he brought it back. He won the championship of all championships. But the last sleeper in this conversation we've alluded to is down here, the Denver Nuggets, because there's a little chemistry there, potentially, because look at these two guys. If you talk about talent with size, most games leading the NBA in points, rebounds, and assists in NBA